we deliberately price the PTFs at our high net worth pricing, and the rationale is very simple. Every firm says for $100,000 or $150,000 or $200,000 an account, it's worth a discount. That leaves the onus on the dealers and the advisors to figure out who qualifies for these programs, and every single program at every manufacturer is different. Because PTFs transact in an omnibus account, getting to 100,000 or 150,000 or 200,000 happens virtually instantaneously, almost on the first trade. So why wouldn't you just offer that high net worth pricing, which is clearly there are some benefits to economies of scale, forgetting the fact that the manufacturers, you're right, Chris, they don't need a transfer agent, right, in this model. It's a singular dealer account. You're out of the record-keeping business, essentially, with PTFs. There are enormous benefits from a manufacturing perspective. And the benefit to the dealer is this simplification. You don't have to figure out what series the client belongs in. It's one series, same price, every client gets that fee. And one of the things that we've been focused on a lot more recently with the dealers is that this does help reduce regulatory and business risk for the dealers in a couple of ways. Number one, how many, I'm sure, Paul, you sit down and you have data security conversations with your management team. Well, right now, client data, when you're in a traditional mutual fund world, sits on both the manufacturer's platform and the dealer's platform. With PTFs, that doesn't exist because it is omnibus. All of the client information resides on a singular platform only. This idea of trying to identify which series clients belong in, once you learn the tickers of the particular products, you know you're getting the lowest cost for your clients. So again, we think that and the lowest cost means best returns for the clients because it's coming out of NAV. So overall, it leads to a better investment experience. It's more efficient. It reduces risk for the dealers. Really, we don't see any disadvantages at all. And so we view this as a win for everybody. Clients because they're getting lower costs and a better experience. Dealers because they're reducing their risk. Again, with all the regulatory things going on. And as an asset manager, we're going to participate more in fee-based platforms, which is a growing part of the industry. And we want to participate in that growth. We want to have success there. So again, we view this as a win-win-win solution for all.
It's interesting. The tax reporting is a big element for us because we actually provide a pretty sophisticated tax report to our clients and try and identify what slips their information. And we go as far to project what slips we expect the mutual fund companies to deliver to our clients and give them that information. One of the challenges we have with that is our logic doesn't always match with their logic, and we can create errors. The beauty of a PTF is because it's actually on our books, we're actually issuing the slip. We're able to bring that information with 100% accuracy and drive that. So that's critical for us. I remember when we started this whole project, one of the questions I had, okay, so how does the tax reporting work? Because traditionally the mutual fund company has done it, and that was a change. And I was like, oh, okay, but it took me about 10 seconds to realize, okay, you guys are taking that cost out of the system. That's part of the reason why they're able to pass that on. And there's really no additional cost to me. I'm already sending out a T5 or a T3 and those slips anyways. It just becomes another line item on a consolidated report that I'm providing to my client. And it's a better experience for the client because now they have one piece of paper instead of two pieces of paper. And that helps drive a lot of things in terms of that experience for the client as well. So the intangibles, even in terms of that experience, not even taking into account the fee differential in terms of what's going on, which then in the bottom line gives the client a better growth rate on their portfolio, which is key. Mm-hmm. Now we got to provide a rate of return on our CRM2 reports. We're doing a lot of that already, but that's going out every year, making sure that that's there, and that's key. And an extra 10, 15 basis points will add up over time on a position, and that compounds for the client. So that's a great benefit.
It's making the commitment to think outside of the box and sort of putting all of the kind of preconceived ideas of how things should work and just focus on, okay, even if this takes a little bit of time, you're right, Paul. 10, 15 basis points, it's real, and it's over time it's important because it helps the most important thing, which is allowing the clients to have better outcomes, and that's really what the focus of all of this should be. I would say the same sort of operational efficiencies that will allow maybe asset management firms that aren't at a certain level, that have achieved all of the operational efficiencies that they ultimately want to realize in terms of getting a certain amount of scale to bring their costs down. I'm sure Eric can talk about the number of OM providers that we have asked to go and talk to Neil about launching their product in that format, because it's easier for us to transact that business. And we have a number of our portfolio management advisors today that are setting up their own pooled funds. And ultimately, those are funds that we see down the road moving to your platform as well, again, for the same benefits that everybody has been able to so far articulate.
You know, we need to have the right products. I think in our business at our firm, there's a bit of a migration towards more offering memorandum product. Transacting in that product is a little bit more cumbersome. These things are still a little bit more manual in terms of their process. So creating an ability to transact more efficiently on that side would be key for us as well.
I think the real growth, explosive growth, would come if one of the major banks adopted it. I think trying to get some testing done so that they can see the benefits is the first step. I do feel we're at the beginning stages of something really big, something that will really help transform the industry and specifically access to active management.